the reality of war.
War's hell, and that's why you only go to war when it's an absolute interest to your national security.
It's one reason why coalition forces do battle with an information war, to fight alongside the real one playing out on the ground in Afghanistan, for example. So it's not widely known by these milestones.
The longest war in American history. We have surpassed the Soviet campaign there. We have spent an exceptional amount of money.
But instead, carries this message.
Good morning, Afghanistan. Welcome to the new day.
Of hope and reconstruction in the war-torn region.
Which accommodates conflict but longs for peace.
That's the NATO version told in this promotional film. It was given to international journalists like myself at the annual NATO summit, presumably to spread the message. Public relations efforts like these are nothing new, and commander of the NATO forces, the United States, spends billions of dollars alone to market its version of the war to the world, including PR at home and abroad, U.S.-funded media, as well as psychological operations. For example, a leaked classified CIA document revealed a plan for allies, a, quote, strategic communication program across NATO troop contributors that taps into the key concerns of specific Western European audiences that could provide a buffer if apathy becomes opposition. To fight declining public support for the war from France and Germany.
As a young girl, she recalls the day when the Taliban rolled into Taloqan, parked a tank outside her house, and kept watch on her family and her neighbors.
The CIA tapped Afghan women as the perfect messenger to make an emotional appeal about the Taliban and profess their aspirations for the future, as this woman does here. Some media has picked up on this message too. Here, Time magazine equates pulling out U.S. troops from Afghanistan with brutality against women. However,
the thing to remember about this poor girl, this happened while U.S. troops were there.
And some, like feminist writer Jill Filipovich, argues these PR tactics are an assault on women too.
I think it absolutely exploits the women's issue and exploits women.
Used purely to advance U.S. foreign policy objectives.
They certainly weren't interested in women's rights in that region before it became strategically important to them in this so-called war on terror.
And it's not clear efforts like this even work.
It's absolutely impossible to tell, but I'd be willing to suggest that it's very ineffective.
Maybe U.S. Defense Secretary Robert Gates would agree. As his recent closed-door NATO speech can attest, he's now resorting to scolding allies for getting ready to abandon the war. Meanwhile, Hillary Clinton says the U.S. is losing when it comes to broadcasting its message abroad on state-funded TV stations.
Unfortunately, we are paying a big price for it.
Even though the U.S. has spent $1 billion alone to broadcast its message to the Arab world where it's at war through the state news network Al Hurra. The network has locked in just 0.5% of viewership, all showing perhaps you can't sell a war.
Welcome to the new day.
Unless you have a buyer. Lauren Lister, RT, New York.